If your images looks like static, your sensor is speaking. Every camera sensor makes tiny electronic noise that shows as hot pixels. Dark frames are blank exposures taken with the same settings and temperature with lens covered and in complete dark to record that noise. Dwarf telescopes needs proper dark frames every session, same shutter speed gain, and ideally the same sensor temperature.
Well, the dark frames. This is a controversial subject. It all depends which telescope, what rig you're going to use. I believe with the smart telescopes, it doesn't make much difference if there's a few degrees difference in the sensor temperature. As I have tested this many times, when I look at the images in PixInsight one by one, it doesn't make much difference. If we want to do the dark frames by the book, then you will have to definitely match that temperature of the sensor and take the dark frames outside.
Dwarf has a built-in temperature sensor inside the camera, and it measures the camera's internal temperature, not the outside air. You can see the sensor temperature in the Dwarf app while imaging in the camera or imaging info panel.
It's not worth it to lose and probably the only clear night that you have. It may be that one. It may be the last chance to capture that target over dark frames. I don't think so. I do different sets for the year. I do one in the winter for dark frames, in the spring and the summer, any time of the year that there's going to be huge, real big changes in temperature, not just 4, 5, 6 degrees.
The first thing you need to do is take several rounds of dark frames using the wide lens and telephoto. Do different combinations, because this is what happened to me the other night and I didn't do that. So I have to be taking dark frames every time I did a test, and it can be several tests. So all of this is all a waste of time on your imaging session. You have to put the ND filter on and frustration starts. I am at border level 5 to 6, so there's a lot of light pollution. I like to use the shutter speed 60, works really good here for me, and 30. So I like to do several catalogs with dark frames, doing gain 80 and gain 60. Gain 40, using the telephoto, it's the minimum that you can do with the Dwarf telescope. As lower than that using the telephoto, it's going to cause vertical banding on the images. Then I do the same using shutter speed 30 if the targets are very bright, like the Orion Nebula. Then I'll go ahead and do the same combinations with gain 80, 60, and that way I have options during the photo test, so I don't have to be interrupting my imaging session.
If you are going to take the dark frames at night, which I have done that before too, because I didn't have the right preset. Let's say I wanted to do 30 shutter speed, 100 gain, and I don't have it. I just go ahead and do it there. Well, if the telescope has been already calibrated, I just go ahead and put something black on it. It can be a bag, it can be a dark sweater. Sometimes I even use this jacket. Just put it on carefully and take the dark frames.
There are some situations, and every sky is different, and every imaging session can be different too. But you can get some errors, or sometimes if the live stacking doesn't look good to you, it may be a problem with the darks. Let's take a look. If the live stacking image shows colorful streaks, artifacts, or black line patterns, this is often caused by a mismatch between the ambient temperature and the sensor. Another big mistake that happened to me through the imaging session, when I was taking the dark frames on the spot, And I wanted to continue the imaging session. Then it was like taking forever without realizing, because the screen looks very similar. You have to click on that X, the exit, and get out of the dark frame mode in order to continue. After calibration, you can go back to the parameters, disable auto parameters, click on Quick Apply, and here you're going to see if there is a mismatch on the dark frames and the parameter settings.
I don't like to get my imaging session complicated because I don't think it's necessary with the smart telescopes. We're not talking about high resolution images. And also we have some great editing softwares for the dwarf telescopes. Stellar Studio, that takes care pretty much of everything, and other softwares like PixInsight, my favorite one, Blur Exterminator, and other tools.
Hi, dear membership program friends. I finally was able to figure out the best way to do all of these PDF documents and find different formats so they are easy to read. And I already uploaded several more on the cloud where I post these links. So just go ahead. This is like a big dump of files. And just stay tuned, because every video that I do as a tutorial for the smart telescope settings, Star Trek at Nomad, for Optolong filters. I have Optolong filters. All of this is going to be available in PDF and much more information. Members, be sure that you check your perk section. That's where these links are, okay? If you miss the video, it's okay, but you need to go to the perks section in the membership program, and there you're going to find all the links. Thanks for your support, and stay tuned for much more videos coming of your favorite AstroNerd.